Howdy, folks. Hello, how are ya? Happy holidays. So, we are proceeding with our scene, our new scene. If you recall, in the last couple of videos, I had done a scene where I showed the kids as preschoolers. And they were, in fact, actually, why don't I see if I can pull this up here? Let's see. I'm going to minimize this. And let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Where is that going to be? It should be here. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, here's our scene. This is what we've got so far. And the kids are doing their little thing here. So, what I had before was, okay, this scene here where the kids are scrawling. Okay, so I had that scene. This was the preschooler scene. So, I've just recently decided that I'm going to change this. So I've decided to kind of throw out what I had done. And I also had another scene that I had started of, let's see if I can pull this up here. Where is it? Of Nora here, where she was going to be stacking blocks, but I had drawn it out. I'd scribbled it out, but I decided that I was having a problem because of the way that I was approaching it. So I am literally starting over, okay, just so you know. And so what I've got here, you can see, is I've just got a couple of poses that I've worked out. I'm going to have Nora stack some blocks, and then I'm going to have Lenny come in and, follow through. So, so anyway, that's where I'm at right now. So let's see, I'm going to add a drawing here after. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take Lenny and put him on this last layer. So let's see, we'll bring this down. Okay, so I want to take Lenny off of this layer, off of this drawing. So I'm going to go copy and then come over here and paste him. All right, but then here I'm going to erase him from this drawing, since he's going to be on the last drawing. Okay. Yeah. The reason being is I want to, on the last drawing, I want to bring him in later. So, in fact, even this might be too soon. So let's see. Let me bring this back to full size here. So let's see. If I've got Nora here, I'm thinking. Let's see. So, yeah. All right. So what I want to do here then is, okay. I think what I want to do here. Let's see. Well, actually, I need to cut. Yeah. Okay. What I need to do is I need to grab. I'm going to grab Nora, the top part of Nora here. Copy that. Paste it on the last frame here. And I'm going to move her because I want her to set this down. So let's see here. Let's see. All right. So, okay. So what I want to do is, well, let's see, wait, let's do it this way. I want to get her over here where she can start to set this down. Yeah. Maybe like over this way. Yeah. But then I want to make sure that it's set down flat, so I got to tip this so that it's, something like that. I think that's right. Is that what I want to do? Maybe I need to... Yep. I'm trying to get this to be... Let's see. Am I setting that right? Well, something like that. So, yeah. Trying to get this set. She's setting the block down. Yeah. All right. So she's setting it down there. Yeah. All right. And, yeah. Okay, so let's copy the body because it's not going to change much. So we'll go copy, paste. All right, so let's see. Okay, well, there's a lot of drawings there. Let's see. Well, I'm going to double this just so that I can see it on the screen a little longer. Yeah, when you start animating, your first, your exposures on these things shouldn't be the same. You should just have enough drawings so that you can kind of see what the character is doing before you commit yourself to any in-betweens. Yeah. All right, so I kind of want to, okay, so I want to get her, what I'm really trying to do is trying to establish the action. Now, here's something else. Even this last frame here where Lenny's coming in, I still think maybe what I want to do is not bring him in to this point so quickly. So, okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to duplicate it after. Yeah. Okay. However, I'm going to change the block here so that, and I can, let's see here, change the block so that it's setting more straight. So let's see. Let's try, yeah. All right, so I could do this. There's a tool here that you have a line tool in Rough Animator. That's great. I found out that I had the line tool through one of my students actually showed me. Shows you what I know. Anyway, yeah, there's a line tool here. If you go down on the bottom here next to where it says draw behind, see right here, it shows you that you got a line tool, so you can use that to draw with. It's very handy. So there we go. All right, so I think what I want to do here is I want to move Lenny. Let's see. Let's try. Let's bring this down 100 again. So on this frame, I'm going to take Lenny out a little bit, move him out of the frame so that he's got to come into frame. So maybe move him out to here. Okay. So when I flip this now, you see, she's got to set that down before Lenny comes in. Yeah, you can see how now, what I'm doing now is I'm blocking the scene. I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do. Putting down the drawings. I might not be, now that I look at that block, I have a feeling I didn't get it right. It's like it's lost some perspective there. Yeah, when I get to here, yeah, I did. Okay. Let's see, how do we fix that? Well, I think I know how to fix it. Let's take it back up to fit the window. So I think we need to extend this up a bit, I think. Okay. So we want to grab the top of the box and move it up a bit. Maybe like that. Yeah. Okay. And use the line tool again. Okay. Oops. Okay. Yeah, that looks a little better. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see. So we can do a breakdown here, say between here and here. We know we're going to have some kind of a breakdown drawing. So let's do, we'll add a drawing in there. And yeah. So what did we do? We got that drawing and that drawing. What did I do? Oh, was that the blank drawing? Oh, okay. Well, then I need to move that so that it's between. Yeah, okay. So I want to go from here to here, but I'm going to add a drawing in between. All right. So let's see. Well, yeah, I would. Okay. So here's my thought. My thought is to have a drawing of Nora where she's kind of maybe dipping down a little bit. Let's say maybe as she starts to come across, is she starting to move across with the block in her hand. Perhaps she drops her head down a little bit, like it's a bit of a, it's not a squash drawing, it's more of an anticipation to get up into the next pose. So it's like, let's see, let me get her eyebrows there and there, and also her mouth, because she's kind of smiling a little bit as she comes across. Her face. Okay. And, okay, and then the hair, yeah, okay, so we want to, yeah. I gotta think, okay, if she's tipping down in her head, yeah, okay, it would have to be a little bit tipped down more, like this. Now that might be a bigger head than it needs to be, I don't know, let's see. Also, yeah, if she's tipped her head forward, then, you're getting more of the top of her head here, right? And let's see, I might even take into account the fact that her hair might move up a little bit as her head comes down, like a kind of a follow through on her hair a little bit. But it looks like her head is bigger here, right? So it's like let's flip it. Yeah, it does definitely look bigger there. Okay. So right off the bat, we need to make that smaller. So grab the whole head, hold down the shift key, make it smaller to match. and then we can drop her down here. So if we flip it here, see her head is coming down and up, right? Just slightly. I mean, I can make it more. Let's see. Let's see, maybe down just a bit more. Okay. All right, and then so as she's starting to come across, you see, we could, yeah, okay. Then what we could do here is, let's try something here. I'll try tracing the hand on the box here. Maybe we'll secure it a little more there. Put more of the thumb on the box there. And here we'll use the line tool so we can get the box more, get the lines on the box more accurate. There we go. Keep the box the right size. There we go. Okay. All right, then. So she lifts the box up. Let's see, we'll do this. Let's take the wrists out of this. And what we'll do is we'll lift the box up and tip it a little bit, because she's going to start to kind of carry it with her. See, so let's roll this. So you see that box is kind of coming up and over, you see. See how we kind of developing a little bit of a swooping movement for the body. Yeah. To get her over into that position. Yeah. But you see what we're doing. See, we get her head kind of dropping down and coming over. And see, now you can see now I'm not worried about the timing here. I'm just, I put everything on 8s. Because if I was flipping this on paper, I'd flip it kind of slow so that I could kind of see what the action was. Right? So that's what we're doing here. Okay. So that's feeling pretty good. All right, so now if her body was doing that to get her there, then realistically, you'd have to say, well, what's her... Oh, I think I got the... I had the... got to go back to the yeah, I'm not doing the what do you call it? The line tool. I had to get rid of the line tool there. All right, so she's doing this. So she's leaning her body in that direction. Let's see. So now her body has got to shift. So what we could do here is we could have this knee on the ground in this drawing here. You know, we could have the knee, it's like, you know, it's like she gets her knee down to the ground here, right? And then the other one would probably starting to come up, probably. We'll just kind of lightly put that in there. So now if we roll that, you see how we started to get her other knee on the ground prior to her just coming over. Yeah. What you have to do when you're animating is you have to articulate your action. There was a little principle that I remember. I don't know who wrote it down when I was at Disney. They say you do make sure you do one thing at a time, which is true. You have to make sure you get, you know, the parts of your action. You have to kind of break everything down to one thing that's happening at a time, and it needs to be clear enough that it reads. But sometimes that means you have to sit there and kind of break down everything. That was my job. I was a breakdown in-betweener at Disney for a lot of years. And, well, most of the time I was in feature animation. I did do some animation, but I was primarily an assistant. I did a lot of cleanup, and I did a lot of in-betweening. But, you know, they were pretty cool about letting us animate. So occasionally I got to do some animation And back in those days, they didn't give you credit as an animator. You were an in-betweener or a breakdown artist, and then if they felt your work was competent enough, then they gave you a shot at animation. And I was given a shot at animation several times, and I guess I did all right. I did somewhat okay. Sometimes my scenes were used. I could always tell when my scenes were good, because if they took credit for them, then I knew, oh, that's good. That means it must be good because somebody else put their name on it. And they would always change it a little bit, just so they could say it was theirs. But that's okay. Back in those days, we sort of looked at it like, well, that was a badge of honor. Like, oh, okay, you took credit for my scene. Okay, I guess that's a good thing. Because we were learning, and that's all right. I think that's legit. You have to kind of earn your chops. It's the way it works. If you're going to get good at something, it's going to take a little doing. All right, so you're getting there over to there. All right. So now I can throw on. I'll throw another drawing in here. Let's see what time we have. Yeah, I think we got enough time to maybe do another drawing. So let's see. I'll add a drawing, say between here and here. So I'll add a drawing after here. Okay. And I think this is where sometimes you can use the drawing that you're going to. So like here, I'm going to trace this drawing because I'm going to end up here. But I'm going to use this drawing as a in-between position. So, or at least to get the head in more or less the right position. I think what I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to kind of have this hair kind of sort of sweeping back like it's going to get into this position because the head is going to be moving, right? You'll see in a minute. Trace the nose. I think the mouth should be pretty much in the same spot, but we can alter that. The hair might be kind of moving a little bit here. Maybe the hair is against the face here, like it's moving across her face like this. And then, so what I'm going to do here, you see, is grab this head, you see, and I'm going to kind of put it in the middle here to try to get it where I think it would be when she's turning her head to come up. So let's just roll this part just so we can see it. See if it's in the right spot. Yeah, it looks like it's in the right spot. Yeah, see, so she's turning her head, come up into there. And you can see how her hair is also kind of moving a little bit to get into that position. So I do this first. So when you're animating, if you want to articulate your action first before you put charts on it, and because we'll do that next, once we get all the drawings in there. And that gets you in a good spot where you can make determinations about, is it working? All right, great. All right, good people. Well, let's see here. Let me stop this. Bring it down where you can see it a little better. There we go. And we'll flip that. You can see the whole thing. So, yeah. So, as usual, I'll walk you through this. But, yeah, we started over. So this is, yeah. I think, don't be afraid to fix and start over and redo things because, in this case, since I didn't storyboard this film out, which may have been a mistake, it probably is a mistake. I kind of guess I thought I could kind of walk through it, and it wouldn't be a problem. But I still say that even if you storyboarded something, you still kind of, if it occurs to you that you could do better, or you can fix something, you just don't hesitate to do that. That's the beauty of animation, is that you can change stuff if you need to. Yeah, is it work? Yes, it is, but it's work anyway. So, all right, good people. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Don't forget to thank God for your talents and gifts. Give him praise. He is to be praised. All right. Thank you, Lord Jesus. We thank you for another beautiful day. See you guys tomorrow, and don't forget, Jesus is Lord.